Yes, good evening, and welcome to this very special broadcast. And I'm sure for those of you that are also looking at the headline, the situation in Benue State, it's really not something good to write home about. And until we all come out and say something, no matter what it is, no matter who is involved, we're not looking at it from any political parties. We're talking about human lives that is now being affected. I've been following the development of what is happening in Benue State, and I'm sure a lot of us have been doing the same thing as well. But let us also remember that this is humanitarian crisis, and we can't all sit down and not decide to do something, even if it's just to bring out our own little voice from our own little corners, and just say to the government to please put in all the necessary security and protect lives. Some of the images that have been sent to me, they are just too gruesome for me to put online, and also for me to view as well. We're talking about people that have been, disembarked with so many, from children to women to men, and we're talking about a country that has a lot of potential. Benue State is one of the most food basket of the economy of Nigeria, and we cannot sit down and allow this situation to really get out of hand. I know the federal government have instructed the Inspector General of Police to move in there, but I don't think that is more than enough. We should be moving all the security down into Benue State to secure lives and properties. If life is being destroyed, you can't bring it back. Properties, we can even talk about building them back, or putting things back. Benue State, we know, has been a lot of different crises for a very long time. Not this particular time, but it's been. I've been following, some of the those that know that area very well. I've been, following Ratsin, in Nasarawa State, and these are not, new problems. But why we've allowed this problem to really get out of hand is what I don't understand, and I hope and I pray this evening for those of us to also remember that any life that is lost is should be touching each one of us. I've been watching a lot of development. There was a particular video that was also sent to me. Some of these images is not something people want me to put it online, but I keep telling them it's just not possible because the graphic image of it is not something we could put online. But what we can only do is we can come online and talk about it. And if anyone wants to be part of this conversation, I'm ready to invite you in so that we can talk about it. Benue State, as it is now, is a crisis, and it seems we as a citizen, if something happened in other European country, we are quick to bring it and change our DP and put in other countries' flags onto our own DP. But now that this is something that is really touching every one of us, it seems we're just letting it go and think, it's got nothing to do with me. I have, relatives as well living in that area, and by the time I'm going to be in Nigeria, maybe Benue State might be my first visit after I've touched down in Lagos, because I have a family there as well, and the situation is not really smiling. For how long are we going to sit down, with the mighty of the military of the Federal Republic of Nigeria? We cannot just allow, whether they are Fulani headsmen, whether they are militias, whether they are being, brought into the country to destabilize, the situation in Benue State. The federal government really needs to get a grip, hand of it. Also, people have been saying, how come we are not also putting in, asking the governor of that particular state what have been done with the security security allowance that have been given to that state. What we should all be talking about is, we should condemn this particular issue. Thank you very much, Prince Eze. We're also going to be following that at 8 p.m. Humanitarian advocate. For those of you that wants to listen to Prince Eze, myself and Prince Eze will be also meeting tomorrow evening to talk about, some of what we can do more. I mean, I've also been saying I want to move around the 36 states. The reason why, I'm trying to do what I can do, I mean, I can only come out, from the media, and I want other people to do other things as well. But I'm saying to those that have been sending me some of this graphic image, as much as I would love to put them online, I'm sorry I can't, but I'll come out with my voice and say, at this particular day when killings was done in Benue State, at least I've come out to say something about it, and this is what everybody needs to do as well. 1 minute video, 2 minute video, we should start, saying something. We know the election is coming around the corner, and we can only say, we want peace, in Nigeria, because Nigeria is a big country. We have over 180 million. If that country collapses, it's going to affect a lot of, other African countries. How many countries can hold on, to the population of that country? So if we're seeing, headsmen or whatever they are called, bringing unnecessary havoc, not only in Benue State, but Benue seems to be the only most attacked, out of all the other states. I can't just understand why it is Benue State that have been affected more out of the other 36 states in Nigeria. When next I'll be in Nigeria very soon. We're already planning that now. But as soon as I get back to Nigeria, I myself will be visiting Benue State. I know people will say, well, security issues. What we need to understand that, for those living in there, they are going through the same thing. And if we living outside the country and those living inside the country are not saying anything, then who is going to speak to them? Who is going to speak on their behalf? We also have to remember that, not every one of them have access to what we have now in terms of, internet connection or being on the Facebook. So we are only seeing some of this graphic image. Some people have, I've got loads of images that have been sent to me, and I'm talking about recent up to yesterday. And the question mark is, what are you doing as an individual? What are you doing as a community leader, whether in America, whether in Canada, whether in Nigeria? This is the time that we must hold, people responsible. The federal government have, the right to take care and protect every lives. Every lives matter. When there's any kind of problems all over the world, we all come out and speak. Why is it that, up to now, we're not getting any kind of press briefing, whether in the UK or in America? People just think, well, it's just a state out of the 36 states, they can deal with it. It is high time that, we have, some of our leaders coming out when there's any issues in any particular state, whether in the north, in the east, in the south, at least to give a press release so that, those back home knows that the diaspora are with them as well. Rather than we just keep quiet and we are not doing anything about it, and then, those at the other side are expecting us, to at least say something. We must continue to speak out no matter, whether we are in the support of this particular government or not. It is our duty, as human beings. If my family is living in Benue State, I believe there's millions of other families that are living in there. Are we going to tell them to move out of Benue State and move to another state because of this crisis? So, it's just a very short video, but I'm saying to those that have been telling me to put out some of those images, I won't be able to do that, but I can assure you that Benue State will be one particular state that will be one of my states that I'll be visiting when I come back to Nigeria, so that we can also see, why are we getting this ethnic, we just, there's just so much problems at the moment in Nigeria, and having this adding to it as well is just not acceptable in this particular time. There's already a lot of issues that, is ongoing now in Nigeria. If you're not, following, the news is different from seeing things physically. I mean, I was there, I've been able to see so much pains, so much pain, as much as there's a lot of joy as well. It's a country that, people are having a lot of pain, but outside there, in their face, they're happy. But inside the body, it's just an empty shell. And this is why we need to also come out, when there's a lot of problems in different states, in different community, we must be able to tell them that we are behind you. We support, whatever that is happening in that state. We must also come out, and kind of protest. I think, people should also tell, whoever is in charge in terms of, those that have the, the network, the connections, everybody has his own network, to tell, whatever is happening, whether it's political, whether it's just the herdsmen. Why can't somebody, someone that have his own cow decide to have all these AK-47 and killing? We're not talking about, some of what have been, been sent to me are not just about the AK-47 anymore. We're talking about machete as well, that have been used brutally, and people have been, smashed away, they make sure that they die before they move on. It's just really unacceptable in 2018 when we have, the federal government that should also be helping to protect lives and properties. Right now, my prayer goes to all those that have been affected. There was another mass burial today. I'm sure a lot of you have been looking at some of those videos that have been posted out as well. But we should all remember that Benue State is one state that is very important to the economy of Nigeria, because, it's a food basket. And if there's a lot of problems there at the moment, then that means it's going to affect, every other state as well. So we pray and we are with you. For those of you in Benue State, as you are going back again, to bed tonight, because it looks like, some of this havoc tends to happen when a lot of us are sleeping in our own peaceful home. There was a particular person that spoke to me, just yesterday, saying, they could hear a lot of noises, and, by the time, the day breaks, you can see blood all over the place. It's just really unacceptable in 2018 that we are losing so much lives. So much of our citizens are dying already of poverty, hunger. There's just a lot that is already happening, but adding the herdsmen issue onto it is really, really painful. And we cannot sit down behind and not do anything about it. We must at least say something, tell the federal government to move in the military mighty into Benue State and protect Benue State at least, until all these issues, can really come down, because it's really, really painful, in 2018. Some of those videos, it's just not, acceptable for me to put them online, because it's very, very gruesome videos and pictures that have been sent to me, through WhatsApp and other medium as well. Let's see if maybe I could bring in Femi to be able to speak to us as well. Maybe somebody might also want to just maybe for the next few minutes before I come off. I don't really take it a long video, but I just wanted to pass the message. A lot of people believe we, the media, should come out and say something. I know the media in Nigeria has been really talking about it. If you have read, the Vanguard, if you've been following the Twitter, the Instagram, but for me personally, I cannot put in some of those pictures, out on Facebook, because I also have to respect, some of these family as well that have been affected. Some generations have just been killed, for nothing. And, this is 2018. It's just really unacceptable. The issue is not only in Benue State. We have Jos and other states around northern area, within the northern area of the country. Yes, we know there's just a lot of problems, and, you just tend to wonder, for how long are we going to be in this situation? It looks like we have, it is high time that we all, especially some of us that are living outside the country, whether we are enjoying the facilities of where we are living now, but we also have to remember that there's a lot of external force, that is working against Nigeria. And not until we talk about that as well, whether this is going to be something that we need to start looking into, because, where do we, look at all these, situations, because it seems now that there's a lot of, external force that doesn't want Nigeria to be great again. And that is just the most important aspect of it. It looks like we have so much external force now, that is working on ground in Nigeria. It's only 400 days away to the next election that will be taking place on the February the 18th of 2019. So, and, we can start seeing, the traces now that, if a particular state is not settled, there's going to be chaos all over the place. We saw, what Fayose, the governor of Ekiti State, is already telling the hunters that, is not telling them to put the laws into their hands, but they have to defend Ekiti State. So do we then have, chaos of different, vigilante groups, with, then they might end up even killing individuals as well along the line. So, we as a media that I am in, can only come out. I just wish I was still in Nigeria right now. I would have been traveling myself to Benue State. But the most important thing is, we will be back in Nigeria very soon, but we will also be moving into Benue State, to get, a better information and maybe bring some of, because, as much as I've been trying to tell those on ground, some of them, like I said, they're struggling. You can't even tell them to do a live Facebook page because, some of them are using, very, very, not up-to-date phone, but they can at least still get the message across to us. Fayose said it's the right way, but they lack technical know-how on what needs to be done. Well, the problem is, why is the government not really wants to engage, especially, with people like you, Mr. Femi? It's just what I don't understand. You've been doing a lot of training in Nigeria, and we are sending so much money into the country, but why is it that, things are not done properly? Do we have to, I keep saying it, I've said it this morning when I was doing my live video post this morning, I don't expect to get to the train station and expect a prayer that the engineer that should have walked on that track last night and just come in and pray over that track and expect the train to go on it. It's not just going to happen. And this is what we need to start putting in place. It seems, as much as we're a very prayerful country, but we also need to start changing our strategy, right now. This is a time that, let's leave all these, 21 days, 7 days fasting. Let's put that into work mode and work action. People are thinking, if you don't fix that road, there was a nasty accident as well, I think yesterday, if I'm right, on Lagos-Ibadan Expressway. 10 people lost their life. This is not just going to, miracle is not going to solve the problem in Nigeria. We are waiting for a lot of miracles. Everybody just wants to pray and pray that the road gets better so that there won't be an accident. It's a lie. There will be an accident. It's just as simple as that. I traveled, so, different places while I was in Nigeria. And sometimes, you just see that people think, prayer will sort out, a car that doesn't have a fully serviced, this car is, most of the cars in Nigeria, especially those downfall, is just, you just pray that, you get to your destination as safe as possible. Because some of those downfall cars that are taking passengers, taking human beings, from a day-to-day movement in Nigeria, as I speak, especially in Lagos State, some of them totally needs to be wiped away because, they are already a killer. So, and it's just as simple as, when do we put things right in place? Some of these downfalls, as someone that drive myself, you could hear that the brakes is not really good. By the time they put their foot on the brakes pad, you could tell that that brake pad is completely gone. And if you try to say something to them, they will just be talked over and they tell you, you don't know what you're talking about. But this is still part of the government to make sure that lives and property, is well secured. We've seen a lot of accident on the Third Mainland Bridge just because the brakes pad are not fully working in some of these, particular downfall drivers that are moving passenger from point A to B. So we pray for those in Benue State as you're going again to bed. We hope the government are putting in all the necessary things to secure your lives and property. I could tell you that we are with you in prayer, and we will also continue to support you, with our own little word from there. And I hope to be, joining Prince Eze Inayacho as well later on at 8 p.m. Once again, my name is Olayomi Koiki. I continue to pray, also continue, to say the right thing at the right time. To explain the agency within our government do not know what next to do. Well, we hope they will know what next to do, because we cannot continue the way it is now. Something just has to be done, and until every one of us start raising our voice, and also as we're going into that crucial time, this is an election time in Nigeria. It's going to be extremely busy. It's going to be heated up. There's more than 69 political parties as we speak today. There's another 21 that is already on the last phase to become a political party. So you might end up going into 2019 with over 100 political parties. Do the right thing. Get your PVC. As some of you that are in Nigeria and thinking, well, politics has got nothing to do with me. If you have listened to Niger, I think was that video that has been going viral, where that man was saying, the youth have the right now to put things properly. And until every one of us, put, our hands together, people will say politics is dirty. It will always be dirty, but the most important thing is we need to have a game changer come 2018. By 2019, you should decide out of that 98, we might have over 100 political parties come 2019. Presently now, from the INEC statistics, we've got 69 plus another 21 that is on the last stage of it. So until you, myself, decide that we must change things, from within, we will not wait, for the outsiders to come and do it for us. We have to deal with it ourselves. Once again, we'll be back tomorrow morning with the nice traffic update and showing you around London. On the 3rd of February, we can confirm now that it's going to be the first immigration surgery from just a little help. Immigration is one of the biggest problems for those that are still trying to get their status sorted out in the United Kingdom. Even for those of you that are trying to come in as a visitor, you've been refused visa, but there will be an immigration surgery. The details has already been posted out. Make sure you tell your friends, your family. We will also be bringing it live. Now that I'm back in London, I'll be doing that as well. We'll be bringing that live to you on the 3rd of February 2018. It's going to be from 11 a.m. to about 2 p.m. We're going to have, there's a lot that is changing. United Kingdom is going to be officially out of EU, and this is also going to affect a lot of those that are married to the European the EU citizen. There's just a lot of things that is going to be changing, and if you're still trying or in the middle of getting your immigration sorted out, please also try to attend that. Also in March, Femi will be in Lagos. We'll be giving a lot of training for protection, close protection, and also not just close protection alone. While I was in Nigeria, I'm always security conscious myself. Each time I'm going out, I make sure I'm looking left, right, forward. If I'm going out, I try to notice which particular car is parked on my road. And when I'm coming back as well, I decide to check if that same car is still there. It's just some of those little things that you've been told while I've been living in UK for a very long time. People don't look at it. Sometimes there's a little bit of empty box. I try to look at it. It's just for everybody to know that security is one thing that we must take very, very serious. And for those of you in Nigeria, if you're looking for the right person to train you on the right thinking of how to detect. You could put in all your CCTV, but sometimes it's just one little things, that you are missing. And those are the little things I think is happening in Benue State, where we are having all this chaos. I'm sure people knows, something, but they'll say, well, it's got nothing to do with me. And at the end of the day, they go to bed, and all these people that are even renting homes from them come back in the middle of the morning and kill a lot of people. Security is something that we must take very, very serious. As an individual, as a corporate, as an organizations, we must, even as much as we, the federal government of Nigeria have responsibility to make sure that every one of us is secure 24/7. But you as an individual, you must also put in some security measures around your schools, around your businesses, and that way you are one step ahead. A lot of people would notice that sometimes, when I'm in Nigeria, while I was in Nigeria, I was taking my security very, very serious, especially because, even though I was going in the public transport, I was also, putting a lot of security measures. If you want to know more about that, make sure you get in touch with Femi TGS. It will be able to guide you. He's having a training coming up in Nigeria very soon. Make sure security in 2018 is one thing that you must put a lot of money into, to protect yourself, protect your business, protect your family. It is very, very important. Also, we're engaging with a lot of community in Nigeria. Ibogun, we're already engaging with the KBAC there. For those of you that might want to, put something around to put back whether healthcare, medical, whatever you want to do, there's a lot of opportunity there as well. Also at Iwokpin, it is Ijebu water side. I can confirm that we're going to be the PRO of that particular community as well. There's a lot of things that is going on in Nigeria, and they're also waiting for us to be back. But for the time being, we also have a lot of people back here in the United Kingdom that we need to work with as well. Tomorrow, I'm having a very good meeting with Prince Eze Inayacho. We'll be giving you an update of that meeting later on, maybe by Saturday morning. So tomorrow, I'm looking forward to that meeting. 3rd of February, immigration surgery. While we are back in London, if you've got any event that is coming up, we know the GAP Award is coming up in Manchester by end of the month. I think the 27th by Mr. Femi Okutubo. It's going to be one big thing. I've been following our own very big person, Chief Bimbo Falayon. There's a lot of award, in United Kingdom, but it's high time that we start moving the award as well to those that are living outside London, so that it doesn't be a London event only. There's a lot happening. Once again, my GoFundMe page is already open. Make sure you put in something in there so that we can make that journey to all the 36 states before the end of 2018. Because by 2019, you'll be thinking of a new government coming in. And we want to make sure that while before that comes in, we're able to show you around, as you've never seen before. I'm sure a lot of you take time, watch some of those videos that we've done, but we need you now to support so that we can make, that really happen. £1, £1, 50p. Make sure you go into that GoFundMe page. I already saw that Chief Dapper Williams. Thank you very much. I've already put in something in there. I don't know what it is, but I saw while I was on my live feed now, I saw something saying Chief Dapper Williams has already put in something into the GoFundMe page. No matter how small it is, it's not just for the logistics only, but while we're in each of those states, we will also be reaching out as well to the less privileged, to the widows from whatever is coming into that GoFundMe page. We will also be giving you a day-to-day activities. We also have about 3 states now. I can confirm Imo, Benue, and Enugu. We have people there that are saying, we will give you accommodation. We will show you the historical of those states. Nigeria is big. There's a lot of opportunity in Nigeria. There's a lot that we must talk about. We're not going to be waiting for CNN or BBC to come and give you that story. I'll be giving you that story, and I'll be giving it to you as you've never seen it before. We will take you, as much as possible into the rural area of those states that we'll be visiting. But we need you to make sure it happens. And we will also be working closely, with the security expert. Femi will be working with us during some of these trips. Will be giving us some of the advice, because remember, now we're going to be moving out of Lagos and Ogun State. We're going to be moving into a different area completely. So we're also going to be looking at our security, awareness as well. There's a lot happening. The biggest car race rally in Nigeria. There's about 10 of them. I posted that link yesterday, but watch out for a particular one in Ondo State coming up around November. That is going to be, they're called Walk and Play. Again, in partnership with, brilliant Nigerians that are saying, let us bring in the car rally. The same way you are watching all these, what was that one we were just watching now, Majid? Top Gear. There's going to be more Top Gear in Nigeria. There's a lot of opportunity, but we must work together to make it happen. So this particular year, there's 10 different car race events in Nigeria. It's just a beautiful thing to think of. But there's one particular one in November called Walk and Play. That more details of that will be coming up to you. But the most important thing is, if you have any event in Nigeria, whether it's a burial, wedding, whatever it is, let us know in advance, so that while we're in Nigeria, we can broadcast it to the outside world as you've never seen it before. Once again, Benue State, we pray for you as you're going to bed tonight. We hope, tonight will be the last time we will ever wake up the next day with some graphic image coming out of not just Benue State, but the whole of the 36 states of the country. As you're praying for yourself, your family, also remember each time to pray for the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And as you're also praying for the Federal Republic of Nigeria, let us also pray for peace in United Kingdom. Pray for peace whether you live in United States. Pray for peace whether you live in Canada. If there's no peace anywhere in the world, you and myself, we're going to be running from one left to another. If you think you're living outside the country and Nigeria is not your problem, if there's no peace where you are living right now, one day you'll have to pick up your Ghana must go, and you then have to move back to Nigeria. But what we are saying is, as we are living in the United Kingdom peacefully, there's electricity, there's everything, let us also pray that one day the same thing that we are enjoying, and a lot of, just think of it, the children goes to the dentist for free. Why is it not possible in Nigeria as well that the children are given access to free medicals? Medical is one of the most killer in Nigeria. A lot of people are dying inside because they haven't got enough money to go to the hospital. But we will keep it coming slowly and slowly. But we hope, as much of information that we bring up back from Nigeria, if you want to be part of that experience, make sure you get in touch with us, and we will come into your program and talk about, some of my experience in Nigeria. We will also be giving you information about the Ebony, and the Ebony Queen will be going to Nigeria in March. So if you want to support them as well, please go to their GoFundMe page and try to support. You'll be going there for a couple of days, showcasing and walking around as well. There's a lot that will happen in 2018, but you must also stay tuned on that same wall, Olayomi Koiki. But the hashtag for the 36 state is Olayomi Koiki, 36 state, Nigeria. Thank you very much, and good night.